Central Empire Wrestling presents Bridge City Slam 6, live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. Come see Jake the Snake Roberts, Buff Bagwell, former WWE Tag Team Champions Demolition, Real One Enzo Amore, The Powers of Pain, The Boogeyman, Snitsky, Jordan Grace, Cameron Brennan, and the stars of CEW. Tickets start at just $20 and include the Fan Fest from 4 to 7 p.m. Get your tickets through Ticketmaster or at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. It's Bridge City Slam 6, live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. This Saturday, H&S Feed and Country Store in Oskaloosa invites you to stop by from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. as they're hosting a celebration you don't want to miss. Join H&S Feed and Country Store as they mark 20 incredible years of service with their much-anticipated Checkerboard Day. There'll be family fun activities, delicious food, exciting giveaways, and live entertainment. Bring your friends and family, and let's make this a day to remember as we celebrate 20 years at H&S Feed and Country Store in Oskaloosa from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday, August 24th. New Life Fellowship in Keswick, Iowa is hosting the Victorious Living Conference Friday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 25th, with guest pastors Luke and Jana Hobbs from Tennessee. You're invited to make plans to join New Life Fellowship in Keswick for this dynamic time of anointed worship, teaching, and ministry. New Life Fellowship is located just south of Keswick on Highway 22. The conference schedule is Friday, August 23rd at 7 p.m., Saturday, August 24th at 6 p.m., and Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. We hope to see you for the Victorious Living Conference. Sigourney Keota football fans, Steve Shetler Media is teaming up with Clint Dye of Tag Team Photography to bring you coverage of Sigourney Keota football this fall. You've seen Clint's fantastic photos of Sigourney Keota football over the last few years. And now Clint is bringing those talents to be showcased on Steve Shetler Media. We're going to have pictures and action shots of each and every game, an in-depth article, and a video highlight of the game as well. You won't miss a thing with Sigourney Keota football coverage right here this year on Steve Shetler Media.
Bodies of water that are green from algae may have too much phosphorus draining into them. A filtering system can reduce the phosphorus amount. On Successful Farming Radio.
Successful Farming Radio, providing information farmers need in the field, in the shop, and in the office. Committed to growing your business in agriculture.
Check out our full lineup of Successful Farming podcasts. The Successful Farming podcast goes in-depth into the topics that affect farmers and ranchers. The 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast offers a quick conversation between an editor and a farmer. The SF Shorts podcast offers bite-sized interviews about agricultural topics. And the SF Daily podcast covers commodity markets, weather, and the big things happening in agriculture each morning. Search for Successful Farming wherever you download your podcasts.
Get the latest ag news, markets, weather, and more when you sign up for today's news from Successful Farming. Register at agriculture.com/newsletter for today's news, the free Successful Farming e-newsletter. Once a day, you'll get an email packed with relevant news hitting the ag industry online and around the nation, along with the 3 big things happening today. Visit agriculture.com/newsletter to subscribe to today's news from Successful Farming.
Phosphorus is an essential element for plant life, but when too much of it drains into the water, it causes excessive algae growth. There are 2 main types of phosphorus, dissolved and particulate. The particulate type binds itself to sediment particles, and erosion control keeps it in check. Dissolved phosphorus isn't bound to anything and is much more difficult to stop from percolating through soil. Chad Penn is a research soil scientist at the USDA's Agriculture Research Service. He's part of a team developing a filter that removes phosphorus from water.
You have a filter media that has a high affinity for phosphorus. And so the water is essentially forced to go through it, flows through the media, and the phosphorus adsorbs to the media. It accumulates in the media, clean water goes out. And then just like all filters, once they're no longer able to absorb phosphorus, they start to get filled up. You replace the media with new material.
The filters are engineered structures and will last for several years, removing variable amounts of phosphorus, depending on feasibility and site constraints. Penn says the design and size of the system will vary, but they all need to be placed where the water naturally converges.
Water has to flow through them, so if it's overland flow, there's some places in fields where water just naturally goes through it. For example, a grass waterway. You can build a filter there. It can't just skim over the top of it. It has to go through it. If it's a pipe, then that makes it a lot easier. The water's already concentrated in one location, and you can force it through your bed of media.
I'm Jody Henke. Read more about phosphorus filters at agriculture.com.